Hello friends, we are going to discuss a new topic on Hemophilus. So everyone should not cry, you should become happy. I can see your cries. Don't cry, be happy, chill and enjoy your life. Don't worry about anything. Keep working, believe in yourself. Day will come and day will be yours. Success will be kissing your feet. Doors will be open for you and you will deserve that day. Keep working, believe in yourself. You can do it. I believe in you. Hemophilus, 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 Hemophilus. What is Hemophilus, sir? Hemophilus is Hemophilus. Hemophilus is Hemophilus. Hemophilus is Hemophilus. That means, sir, it is oxidase positive. Yes. That means it should be gram negative. Yes, sir. All the bacteria we learned were dash, except one. What we learned today? We learned at least so many bacteria. Weak bacillus. Okay. Which bacillus did we study? Which was gram positive today? Today in the previous videos. Triple positive. Do we remember? C. botulinum. Okay. 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 Very nice. Very nice. I thought you would confuse it with triple. So don't confuse it with triple, okay? Don't confuse it with triple. Uh, Hemophilus is basically an oxidase positive and a pleomorphic organism. Okay. Now, pleomorphism is there. Pleomorphism is there. Um, Basically, this is that bacteria which depends on two factors. If you want to grow this bacteria, you should have two factors. One is called factor 10. Factor 10 is present dash. It is called hemin. Hemin. This hemin is present in blood. This hemin is present in blood. Next I write. This is factor 10. Okay, factor 10. Don't tell me, sir, you are writing and then removing. Okay, I write, keep it like this. Okay, you were complaining. Exactly, very nice. Okay, let me change the color. So we have factor 10. And also we have factor 5 on which it depends. Factor 5. Change the pointer. Factor 5. So this factor 5 is NAD. It is present in RBC, inside RBC. It is present inside RBC. These two concepts you need to remember. Who is in blood? Just in short, tell me who is in blood? 10. Who is in RBC? 5. Hemin. Okay. Hemin and NAD. Hemin, NAD. This is what you have to remember for this bacteria. So it needs two factors in the blood. That means if you give it one, which it will now depend. We have many species in Haemophilus. We have Haemophilus influenzae, Haemophilus aegypticus, Haemophilus ducreyi. What? Ducreyi. Ducreyi. What? What do we remember? How we will remember? This is how I learned every bacteria. Haemophilus ducreyi. What? Ducreyi. Ducreyi. What? Ducreyi. What? You're not speaking with me. Do cry. Do cry. Speak like me. Okay. I will tell you what is the reason. I will tell you why I speak like this. This will help you. So we have Haemophilus influenzae species. We have Haemophilus do cry. Do cry. So why you are stressing so much? Yeah. I will be telling you why I'm stressing. H. aprophilus. H. aprophilus. H. parainfluenzae. H. aegypticus. And what else was there? H. para Afrophilus. H. para Afrophilus. So these all are. So now I want you to remember some things. I last time since 2 years I have seen some questions coming in this. So I thought I should discuss with you. Maybe I don't remember in which exam the exam was about, but it came Yeah, I know it's coming in my head that I should discuss something about this. Okay, so we are alive or we are sleeping, guys? Okay, so see what how you have to remember. What is IDAPAP? Edapap. What? Edapap. What? How you remember Edapap? Edapap. What is Edapap? Do you know Edapap? Edapop is nothing, just a word discovered by me. Edapop. How I remember these things. So, Edapop, Influenzae, Ducrei, Eprophilus, Parainfluenzae, Egypticus, and Eprophilus. Now, Edapop, I would like to do some. Now, don't remember like this. Pop is sin, yeah. So, I would like to change this mnemonic now, okay? I want to change this mnemonic, okay? To make your life easy. Okay, do I do it? What I will write is, I will write Eda. See. Ada pop. Okay. Are you feeling, sir? Did I do something? I did not do anything. Right? I just brought this here. Okay. So if we remember Papa ID, then it will become wrong. I could have made that mnemonic simply, isn't it? When I was making mnemonic, I could have simply made it. But why I did not make it that way? So there should be a reason, isn't it? When you are making a mnemonic, you can actually think this is Papa ID. Why I can't make it like this? What is the arrangement? Why I'm making the arrangement like that? I have a something in my view. I have something in my eyes. I have some imagination about it. What I will be doing with it. See what I will be doing. What to do. How I remember everything about microbiology in the exam. This is IDA pop. One was EDA pop. One first you will write while you are attempting the exam. You'll be practicing at home. You'll be practicing at home. What you will doing? You'll be doing EDA pop. What? EDA pop. What is happening? I think this is pop, isn't it? He's writing pop. Pop means something sin. Edapop. Now after Edapop, you will be bringing P here. No, you will be bringing this P here. Okay, you will be bringing this P here. Okay, I bought this P here. Now I write like this. Edapop. Yeah, there is A also. Edapop. Now this I stands for influenza. You know it. A for Egypticus. D for Ducrei. A for Afrophilus. Afrophilus. P for para-influenza. Just remember these, they will confuse you in the exam. So take care here. Para-influenza and para-afrophilus. So we have afro, leave one behind and afro. Are we able to understand what I am doing, guys? It requires a smart work. You have to do it. Otherwise, you won't remember it. Afrophilus, Afrophilus. Did here Afrophilus, para-afrophilus? This was Afrophilus. This is para-afrophilus. So the middle one should be para-influenza. Are we clear? So let me write it clearly now. I hope you remember. So like I will practice again. Edda pop. First you write Edda pop. First you write Edda pop, isn't it? Edda pop. Then you write Edda pop. Edda pop. Are we clear? Write Edda pop. So then we write like this. Influenza. Then Egypticus. Then Ducrei. Ducrei. Then this should be what? Afrophilus. Now, once you write this Afrophilus, just bring your brain down here. This should be para-Afrophilus. Are we able to understand how to make life easy? I'm trying to life easy for you. Para-influenza. Are we clear, friends? Is there any problem with this? Is there any problem, guys? So let's start doing some work. Let us write 5 and factor 10. We will remember how to remember this, why we are doing this. We are doing this to remember which requires both factors. So this right tick, tick. Do you remember my dad joke? Tick, 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 tick. Do you remember that? Yeah. Remember that smart work, isn't it? What we did. So same, I'm doing tick, 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 tick. Now you did tick. Now I should do some justice, isn't it? What I do is I will do cross, cross, tick, tick. We are playing cross tick, isn't it? School game. I play micro game. They ask me, what do you play? I say, I don't know how to play. I said, I did not know how to play a guitar, but I know how to play an ECG. I don't know how to sing, but I can ring. I can ring an X-ray. Okay. So this is what I love. Medicine is actually, okay. So this is cross. So we will be doing cross, cross, tick, tick. And now tick, tick, cross, cross. Easy life. What do you mean by this tick, tick, cross, cross? Means 10 and 10 are requiring what? Both. The influenza in Egypticus require both. Factor 5, factor 10. But Ducrey only needs factor 10. Afrophyli requires factor 10. This is how I can make your life easy. Is there any problem with this? So you have recorded video also, you can bring back, take more, bring back 5 minutes, 2 minutes and that like that. I don't need to explain again. So let's go to first bacteria, that is H. influenzae. H. influenzae and its serotype B, HIB, what you call a vaccine for this also. So this is the most virulent guys. This is the most virulent. Okay. Basically accounts for most amount of invasive infections. Invasive infections. Okay. Invasive infections. Okay. We call it Coccobacillary. Coccobacillary. What do you mean by Coccobacillary, sir? Is it loving cocoa? No, it's not something like that. It is. This is coccus. If this shape is coccus, this is bacilli. Now make an intermediary shape for this, then it should be like this, isn't it? So Coccobacillary. What do you think H. influenzae requires? Factor 10 or factor 5? Don't look at the copy. No copy. No copy. Brain, mind map. Both, exactly. Very nice answer. We require both. We require both, guys. So that means you give him factor 10, you give him factor 5, you will be actually making a miracle. You will be making this bacteria, by the way. What is the selective media you can use, by the way? What is the selective media you can use? We have the best I can use is an enrichment media with 5 and 10. So I can remember is Miller-Hilton. This is the famous agar, guys. It has been a favorite agar, by the way. Because whatever is chocolate I love, isn't it? Miller-Hilton agar, 510. Okay. So Miller-Hilton is an enriched agar. Blood media they are taking, okay? So enriched with these factors. So give these both factors and influenza will be working. It will give you nice results. Okay. Other agar you can remember is Fields agar, Levinthal's agar. Okay, these are the other agars. Fine. Fine, guys. Excuse me. So it shows us a phenomenon. It shows us a phenomenon, by the way. The phenomenon was called dash. I had taught you in the general microbiology. What it caused? It was showing a phenomenon caused satellitism. What is satellitism? Satellite, you know, na? Satellite. Satellitism. What is satellitism, guys? What is satellitism, guys? Satellitism. There is two things in the world. One is yes, sir. One is no, sir. Another is leaving the class, isn't it? There are two things. Satellitism, you don't know. I had taught you, like, I think long time back. Okay, let me repeat for you. Okay, let me repeat. No problem. Don't worry. Don't worry. Remain chilled, guys. See, I have a blood agar in with me. Okay, I have a blood agar, and in this blood agar, I have filled with blood. I am filling this with blood. Okay, let me take a bigger one. Let me make a smaller one. Okay, that's so that you can understand. So if I make like this, okay, and then I'm filling this with blood agar, guys. Should be a bigger one, isn't it? Why not a more bigger one? I want a full bigger one, isn't it? That can save the time. Okay, let me shade for you. I can do anything for teaching you. Okay, no problem. So this is what I can. But remember this for your life. Okay, this will be asked. Satellitism. Okay, let us shade this. Okay, we are shading. I hope we are not sleeping with my low tone voice, isn't it? Because okay, then it's good. You are not sleeping, then it's good. Medicine is interesting. You should not sleep. You will be working in the hospital soon. Then no, there is no distinction between sleeping and. So this is, for example, your media. Now what I do is I fill this media with factor 10. If I fill this media with factor 10, okay, I will make x, okay, x, okay. Don't think more. So now I have added factor 10. Now I put Haemophilus influenzae on it. Will it grow? Will it grow? It won't grow. How will it grow, guys? It needs both media. I'm just adding 10. How will it grow? It won't grow. It needs both at a time. Okay. You will say, sir, it needs factor 5 as well. And that is present inside the RBC. But in the blood, you are putting this factor 10. You have factor 10 in the blood, but you have factor 5 in the RBC. Can we understand the concept, the psychology, the basic concept? See, it is inside. Factor 5 is inside. How can it take that? That means, should I lyse the RBC or not? Should I break this RBC? Everything is common sense, my dears. Nothing is some rocket science. Everything is conceptual. So what I do is I become the microbiologist who did this. He was genius. He took Staph aureus. He was a microbiologist. Definitely, he should be a microbiologist. Very nice people. They are actually the genius people who are actually telling you the diseases. So Staph aureus has beta hemolysis. Staph aureus has beta hemolysis. So that means what he did, he put, let me remove these X. How to remove these X? How to remove these X, guys? I can't remove them now. Let me make a smaller now. Okay, let me make a smaller now. So, so what he did is he put an inoculum. He inoculated this with the Staph aureus like this. What Staph aureus did was Staph aureus sliced this area, beta hemolysis. Okay, and now he inoculated this with Haemophilus influenzae. He inoculated this with Haemophilus. Let me take a black color. That will help us more. So that they took the black. So he inoculated that like this. So what happened? There was growth. There was growth. This is called. This is called, because now you have lysed. Now factor 5 will come out. Factor 5 comes out means 5 and 10 are now readily available there. So they will can. This can grow. So if a question is asked, what is satellitism because of? The question will be asked to you. Who is causing the satellitism? Factor 5 or factor 10? Factor 5. Remember this answer, guys. Factor 5 is causing the satellitism. Are we clear? Can we drink some chocolate milk? Hot chocolate liquid? No. Dark chocolate really has more amount of calories. Okay, let me drink on your behalf. Don't worry. Okay? I drink on your behalf. Because you are my students. I'm your teacher. One and the same thing, isn't it? So this is this is come back. I will someday make you eat. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't fall. Don't cry. Okay. So this is what we are doing. So this is some virulent. These are, sorry, exactly the satellitism. What is happening? Okay. Uh, we'll be ending this topic. Don't worry. Okay. Uh, so what it has, by the way, what it has inside. So it has. Uh, this is satellitism. Okay. Did you understood the phenomenon of satellitism? So let me talk about uh, virulence antigens. So this bacteria has what virulence? What? It has a polysaccharide capsule. It has a polysaccharide capsule. Okay. Polysaccharide capsule. What is the function of polysaccharide capsule? People are inside crying, sir, please leave us, isn't it? Yeah. This is only one single day what happened. Okay. Continuously from tomorrow you will be having 6 hour lecture. Definitely. Very nice answer, Amara. Very nice answer. We will be having antiphagocytes. We want you to become strong. Don't get tired after 2 hours. You have to study for full day. So antiphagocytic, okay? And this polysaccharide capsule can do what? Mucoid colonies. It is responsible for forming mucoid colonies, okay? I can't stop laughing, okay? Because people are, so this is also helping us in the serology, okay? Because we took your every class today, isn't it? We will be taking more classes like this, don't worry. And this will be acting as a, by the way, virulence we have already written, okay? So what are the serotypes it has? And then we'll be ending on the disease, don't worry, okay? You'll be left with one bacteria that I will be taking tomorrow. So now bear with me. I have given you a concession. Now don't tell me, sir, stop. Okay? Fine? Okay. So what serotypes we have? What serotypes we have? Write 6 and then start writing A to F. Simple. A, B, C, D, E, F, then end. So which of the following is going to be having a special characteristic? It is the B serotype, which has what? It has PRP. What is PRP, guys? What is PRP? It is, PRP means, guys, yeah, contribute, polyribosyl phosphate. Polyribosyl phosphate. So this ribosyl, polyribosyl, P for polyribosyl, P for powerful. P for powerful, guys. Okay. What else virulence factors, antigenic factors it can have? It can have PD, LPS, lipopolysaccharide, what you know already. No need to write it because the conditions of you people are dying, isn't it? So IgA1 protease, IgA1 protease. Okay. So what are the disease it can cause? So what disease can it cause? Can any one of you help me? If someone is unfortunately alive, what can it cause? It can cause pneumonia because it comes via droplets. So from the droplets causes pneumonia. At the same time, it can cause otitis media. It can cause sinusitis. It can cause epiglottitis. Inflammation of epiglottis can cause meningitis. Meningitis. Okay. Now, by the way, if you can tell me, what is the mode of spread of meningitis? How does the meningitis happen? See what happens. Let me make it simple. Once the droplet goes inside, it goes to the nasopharynx. It goes to the nasopharynx. If it goes to the nasopharynx, what is the connection of nasopharynx with brain? The brain connection with nasopharynx is middle ear, I think, if you know anatomy. So middle ear, no. Yeah, blood is also there. I'll be telling that. So middle ear is the connection to the brain. It has two chances, two ways to cause meningitis. Because meningitis is the infection of brain layers. So it has to reach brain. One way is to reach through the middle ear, if I know anatomy. Second way is to reach by blood and then go to the brain. What is the shortcut? What is the shortcut out of these? A or B? What is the shortcut the bacteria can take? Beautiful answer, A. So that is the basic, the most common route of spread. That's why. So I remember two things. Do we remember meningococci? Meningococci was spreading because of dash blood. So this is the interrelation I can give you. We have learned it. Meningococci goes through blood, but this causes meningitis by. Okay. There. So what is the lab diagnosis? The lab diagnosis is take that CSF or take that sample. What is there? Okay. If you have a problem with pneumonia, take that sample. If you have epiglottitis, take that. If you have sinusitis, no, it's already taught to you. So we go for microscopy, culture. Okay, but remember, culture will take a lot of time, exactly 50 hours, and microscopy will not be showing that much, so it will be insensitive. I mean, no, less sensitive. Okay. Then what we go? We go for rapid antigen detection. Do you know rapid antigen detection? Have you seen this panel? Have you seen this panel, guys? There are panels. There are some. Oh, these 6 or 8 depends. And what you see is you put drop of this sample. This is a panel. Okay, test like you have. For pregnancy test, you have those. I don't remember the name of that. The brand name what it comes. So to confirm the pregnancy. Okay. Same way you will be putting the drop of the CSF. We're putting the drop of the CSF in this. So what does this contain? This contains 6 organisms basically. So this contains GBS, group B streptococcus. This contains pneumococci. This contains pneumococci. This contains meningococci. This contains meningococci. What was the lower 3? It was GPM. This contains cryptococcus. This contains E. coli. This contains H. influenzae. So once you put this drop everywhere, the section of this panel which is showing the agglutination clumping, if for example it shows clumping here, let me remove this. If it shows clumping here, where to show clumping? Where is H. influenzae? So if I show clumping here, let me take this sparkle color. If I show clumping here, what will happen? I will say positive test. Is it clear? Easy test, isn't it? Rapid antigen detection. It will go to the bedside. It will give you rapidly the test. You don't need to send it for 48 hours, 50 hours. It's a bedside test. Okay. So you can also go for ELISA. You can go for PCR. That also you can go. So what is the treatment of meningitis? Ceftriaxone. I have taught you ceftriaxone. And you want to give for chemoprophylaxis. Which drugs will you give? Again, ceftriaxone. Or you can give rifampicin. Okay, guys, have you understood this topic? I hope you are tired today. So we'll be doing the remaining ones in the next lecture. Okay. So thank you very much for your patience. You people are great. I appreciate your hard work, your dedication for the study of medicine. I hope this will help you one day. Okay, so don't worry. Keep working hard. I believe in you. Take care. Good night. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.